Star Wars: The Adventures of Serian Kall. The First Steps. Chapter 10. Everything was a daze for many long hours as Serian slowly reawoke back to consciousness. His head ached and his eyes remained in blur. In front of him, he could begin to decipher a dark, towering figure looming over him, as if a monster, before reality and true sight revealed it to be the figure of his master, watching him with deep concern. As he began to rise up, Jalius gently held his shoulder. Siren, relax. You're safe now. What? Master? Where am I? We're back home, at the temple, in the medbay. How long was I out? Just less than 2 rotations. Before Siren could ask any more questions, Jalius cut him off with a kind smile. Utapau is safe. Governor Blom was found responsible for hiring Relay in political sabotage and has been arrested. What about Relay? There was a long silence that took form in that moment, as Jalius' smile faded, before the Jedi Master finally spoke up. I tried to stop Relay in battle, but she escaped. Siren nodded as he once more tried to rise up in his bed, as his master continued to speak. You did very well, Siren. Not only in stopping Relay, but in overcoming yourself. You suppressed your fear and trusted in the Force. That was the lesson. And your first test in these trials have been completed. You've taken the first steps, and now it is time to take the journey. Master? I have spoken with the High Council, and they have agreed to allow us a pardon of time for you to finish your Jedi trials. You mean it? Absolutely. Jalius smiled, patting Siren on the shoulder as the young man allowed himself to be enveloped in an overwhelming blaze of joy. All of his doubts, his fears of failure, withered away in the depths of his soul. Maybe after all he would succeed. Maybe not. It wasn't for him to be decided. All he could do was listen and go along for the ride. That was his story. After relishing in the moment for a short while, did reality seep back in? What about Kaiser? Alina? They're fine. They're both here. They've been waiting for you, ladies' man. Siren rolled his eyes as he tried to get out of his bed, as Jalius helped him down. Easy, easy. Take it slow. You're still hurt. Don't overextend yourself. Slowly, Siren got to his feet, taking a moment to balance himself. His whole body was still sore, though now he could notice the many bandages wrapped over his wounds. Slowly, he began to walk forward, as he made his way out of the medbay into the hallway outside, where he could see both Kaiser and Alina wearing bandages, talking to each other before they noticed Siren. Kaiser was the first to react, swiftly making her way over to Siren and hugging him with one arm, as Siren noticed that her right arm was in a cast.
I'm so glad you're okay.
You too. Siren's sweet smile turned to a cheeky smirk. I told you we'd do it.
You exaggerate our success, but yes, we did do it.
Kaiser teased as the two laughed together. I guess I can tell you that I'm heading off to take the trials soon.
You're going to do great. Just promise me you'll take care.
I will. You take care too.
Oh, that won't be an issue.
Kaiser teased as she hugged her dear friend one more time. As they parted, Kaiser felt her comlink vibrating on her belt.
It looks like my master's summoning me. I have to go. May the Force be with you, Serian Kall.
With that, Kaiser began to make her way back to her master, and traveled down the hallway as Siren turned to Alina. I suppose I have you to thank.
I'm keeping a list. Where do you want me to start? Helping your case? Saving your life? Both times, actually?
For all of them. And for helping me face my fears. You believed in me.
And you believed in me. You gave me a second chance, and for that, thank you.
Anytime. Where will you go?
I don't know. I'll have to find a job somewhere. Hopefully being the waitress of an underground crime ring makes for a good resume.
Well, then I believe in you to succeed. Alina smiled as the two embraced in a hug before parting.
Keep safe for me, Jedi.
You too. As Alina made her way out of the temple, Serian turned back to his approaching master. She turned out to be quite a help. Wherever did you find her? Where I least expected. Such is where most of the greatest heroes lie dormant. Serian nodded in agreement as his master spoke. The medical droids have cleared you whenever you're ready. We will leave as soon as that. I'm ready, Serian responded boldly. Jallius smirked before nodding his head. Then gather your things. I'll meet you in the hangar bay in an hour. Serian smiled and returned the nod. Yes, master. Returning to his quarters, Serian went through what little belongings he held inside, gathering them in a small duffel bag. Once finished, he took one last look inside his quarters. He knew they'd always be there for him when he returned, but how long would that be was yet unclear, as was all things now. But there was no fear in his eyes, no regret that such adventures were not limited to the page of a book. It was only the Force, and he could wait to respond for when it came for him. Making his way through the temple halls, Serian allowed himself a moment of admiration, taking in the aura that was such a place of luminous power in the galaxy. The small fraction of himself that had desired to cross the stars, to find every remnant of chaos which charred an ember away from the galaxy and snuff it out, could now be fulfilled. But it was up to him to make it happen. Once in the hangar bay, Serian spotted his master, standing next to a T6 shuttle, inspecting it for damage as he turned to greet his apprentice's arrival. Are you ready? Yes. Excellent. Let's get moving. Serian smiled as he followed his master up the ramp into the ship. There was no looking back. There was only the future, and what would come of it. He entered into the ship's cockpit beside his master as Jallius pressed in the launching cycle. The ship then lifted off the ground and into the sky, as Serian looked towards the horizon and to the destiny that now awaited him.